You're Caitlin, aren't you? Geoff's wife?
No, I'm not.
Huh?
Would you mind telling me who this is?
It's me, Miley.
Miley. I'm afraid that doesn't ring any bells, sweetie.
Oh, come on. Surely you have at least heard my name before. It's hardly common.
Miley Cyrus? No, sorry. I don't have any idea who you are.
Hey, don't get clever with me, smartass. How can you not know who I am? No way, that can't be. Geoff said he told you before you guys got married that his first wife's name was Miley.
Sorry, but you make less sense with every message. Firstly, my husband's name isn't Geoff. Secondly, me and my husband were high school sweethearts. He couldn't possibly have a history of divorce because I'm his first and only wife. Of that I'm certain.
Oh, I know what's going on here. This is all a coping mechanism because you're in denial about the fact I stole your husband. Geoff slammed a set of divorce papers down in your face and demanded your signature, didn't he? Yep, that's right. I know everything.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know a Geoff, and I'm certainly not married to one. Won't you cut this out already? I was willing to give you the benefit of the doubt because I thought this was just an innocent case of mistaken identity at first. But now, you're just annoying me.
Oh, won't you look at that? Geoff's back. Which can only mean he just got done handing in the divorce papers.
Seriously, what are you talking about? I neither know nor care what this Geoff of yours is doing. But I can tell you for sure that he's not my husband, and that my actual husband is currently out of state on a business trip. I don't know anything about divorce papers. I most certainly haven't had my signature demanded for any, and me and my husband have no intention of divorcing whatsoever.
Your pathetic resistance is in vain, lady. Quit burying your head in the sand already, 'cause it's time to wake up and smell the coffee. I don't get why you're so insistent on denying the divorce when you're the one who signed the papers to begin with. You can kick and scream and struggle as much as you want. But the fact of the matter is that Geoff's heart has wandered back to its rightful owner. Me. How about I tell you something for free, 'cause I'm so kind? Listen up. It's important to know when to quit, darling. It sucks to be you, huh? You're nothing but used up goods now. Bye, you tragic loser. Me and my lovely Geoffykins are headed down to hand in our marriage registration first thing tomorrow morning. And there's no thing you can do to stop us. Hello, Caitlin. You should know that Geoff just submitted our marriage registration papers. I'm so happy to be back with my old husband now that he's rich. Thanks for agreeing to divorce him, loser.
Are you seriously messaging me with this nonsense again? And what do you mean, now that he's rich? My husband is just a regular old cubicle worker who occasionally gets flown out to do business meetings. He's certainly not rich by any standard.
Are you seriously still playing dumb? Stop it before my belly hurts from laughing again, Caitlin. Besides, what do you mean by my husband? I think you'll find Geoff is actually my husband now.
Like I told you 1,000,000 times already. I have no idea who Geoff is, and he's not, nor was he ever my husband. That's not my husband's name.
Whatever. What do I care if you deny reality? Feel free to say whatever makes you feel better, darling. Me and Geoff rekindled our old flame and got remarried. And that's an undeniable fact. And guess what? Me and my big hunky stallion are going on our second honeymoon tomorrow. I should really start putting my suitcase together. I mustn't forget to pack my naughty bunny outfit and plenty of bottles of lube. See you later, loser.
Hey, Steve. Sorry to message you while you're away on your business trip. There's something I need to talk to you about urgently.
Caitlin, what is it?
Listen, I've been getting some super weird messages from some girl who seems to be trying to pick a fight with me over the last couple of days.
Trying to pick a fight with you?
She says her name is Miley, but not only do I not have the slightest idea who she is, She also seems to think I'm married to a guy called Geoff. Well, I guess he'd be my ex-husband now? Because apparently he divorced me to remarry Miley.
Whoa, what the... I have no idea how to even begin making sense of all that. So who exactly is Miley claiming to be?
She says she's Geoff's ex-wife and claims to have stolen him from me, his supposed second wife, by convincing him to divorce me. And then today, the two of them got remarried. I know it's complicated, and I don't expect you to fully understand because I don't either. But does that give you a rough gist of what's going on?
Well, so basically, this couple, Miley and Jeff, were once married, got a divorce, and now they're married again. After Jeff and Miley got divorced the first time round, he married another woman. And Miley is convinced that other woman is you?
Yep, you summarized it perfectly. That's what seems to be going on.
Wait a sec. This is just a possibility, but do you think there's any chance... Well, do you think the Jeff she's talking about could be the Jeff we used to hang out with in college?
Huh? Since when did we hang out with a Geoff in college?
You know, tallest guy in the whole group. It was like Godzilla. But didn't you exchange numbers with him at one point?
Wait a sec. Do you mean... Hang on. Was that guy's name Geoff?
Yeah. Yeah, you could be forgiven for not knowing it, though. I don't know why, but he has this weird complex about his name, so he had everyone call him Baxter, his surname. As a result, that's pretty much all he was ever known as. And there were quite a lot of people who ended up thinking Baxter was his first name.
Ah, that's it. I thought his name was Baxter, too. When we swapped numbers at the graduation ceremony, he put his name in my phone as Baxter. I had no idea he was really called Geoff all along.
I see. So is that what's going on here?
Is there a possibility it could be him? I would have never hit on this if not for you, Steve, but to be honest, it's the only explanation I can think of.
How about I try messaging him? I always did hang out with him more than you did back in college, so I guess you wouldn't find it that weird if I messaged him. You might have his guard up if you did it yourself.
Right, you're right. Would you mind, babe? Sorry to trouble you with this.
Sure thing. Oh, don't mention it. To be honest, I have an unusual amount of free time on my business trip this time around, so a good mystery to solve might have been just what I needed. I'll be in touch as soon as I know anything.
Thanks, babe. You're the best.
Hey, Caitlin. Sorry I kept you waiting. I'm on the train back home as we speak. I finally got a reply from Jeff.
What did he say? Did you find anything out?
You could say that. Your jaw's going to hit the floor when I tell you this. So, it turns out that Jeff was originally married to a woman named Miley at one point. But they ended up getting a divorce when he found out she was cheating on her with a local rapper called Tyrone. And he said he has zero intention of ever even speaking to her again, let alone patching things up or remarrying her.
Wow. Just wow.
He was astonished when I told him Miley had been messaging you. He theorized she could have gotten your number back when they were married when she was playing around with his phone. Apparently, she had a habit of doing that. He apologized profusely for getting you wrapped up in her crazy shenanigans. But then, he said something interesting. So get this. Apparently, the whole Miley problem will be solved the day after tomorrow.
What's that supposed to mean?
After divorcing Miley, Jeff started a company with one of his buddies from college. But according to him, ever since the company made it big time, and he became, in his own words, filthy rich, she's been following him around wherever he goes, like woman possessed. I don't know exactly what he plans on doing, but he said this whole problem will go away the day after tomorrow.
Wait a sec. The day after tomorrow? She said that's when the two of them are planning on going on their second honeymoon. Do you think that could have something to do with it?
Sorry, babe. I've got to get off the train in a sec, but I'll be home in just under 30 minutes. Let's continue this conversation then.
Got it. Be careful on the way back, sweetie.
Today's the day me and my Geoff leave for our second honeymoon. Guess where we're going? My dream holiday destination, Hawaii. It's almost time to leave the house, and I can barely contain myself. Sorry, darling. I know you're probably overwhelmed with uncontrollable feelings of soul-crushing jealousy right now. But let's face it, you are never going to be able to compete with someone as drop-dead gorgeous as me. Look how loved up we are. We're the perfect couple. It'll be better for your mental health if you just give up. Caitlin, what the heck is going on here? What did you do? You've got some explaining to do, woman.
Oh my god, that photo you sent earlier. I'm so sorry, but when I saw that picture of Geoff, I burst into a fit of hysterical laughter so intense, I accidentally dropped my phone.
What? Why? What's so damn funny?
That photo. It's from back when you guys got married the first time around 3 years ago, right? Me and my husband did a video call with Geoff this morning. He has a small tattoo on his arm now. Isn't it strange how there doesn't seem to be one in the photo?
Wait, what? A tattoo?
Yep. You know how in fashion they are these days. Apparently, he got the inspiration for it when he went to Japan last year and saw a bunch of Yakuza dudes covered in them from head to toe. But there was no tattoo anywhere to be seen in your photo. Be honest, Miley. This whole thing was nothing but a sad little scheme of yours from the get-go, wasn't it? What you're doing is so ridiculous and absurd that I suspect you may be mentally deranged and in need of actual professional help. I burst out laughing so hard when I saw that picture that I dropped my phone. Thankfully, it landed on a cushion, so it's not damaged or anything.
Hey, stop that! I know what you're doing. Don't try to change the subject. I just messaged Geoff to let him know I had arrived at the airport and was super excited about our romantic honeymoon vacation to Hawaii. But he said he wasn't flying to Hawaii, but that he was going to Europe where his wife's waiting for him. What the hell is going on here? Nothing makes sense anymore. Did you guys secretly stay married when he told me you were divorcing?
How many times are you going to make me say it, Miley? Geoff is not my husband.
But Geoff himself told me, you moron, that his second wife's name was Caitlin.
Yeah, about that. You were being so terrifyingly persistent with your demands for Geoff to tell you a second wife's name that he deemed it dangerous for him to reveal any genuine information. So he decided to fool you with a fake name. The main character from a novel he happened to be reading at the time. But, in an unfortunate stroke of bad luck, that name happened to be exactly the same as mine, his old friend from college.
Huh? His old friend from college?
He only ever went by his surname back then, so I had no recollection of him ever being called Geoff. Which is why I didn't even realize it was him you were talking about until my husband, who went to the same college as we did, pointed out the possibility.
What? What? Wait. I need to read through your messages one more time.
Geoff's #1 priority is to protect his actual wife at all costs. Which is why, while dealing with you with a strategy of subtle evasion and avoidance, he decided to send her to their new house in Europe, a step ahead of him just to be safe.
Wait a sec. Hang on. There's something that doesn't make sense. What about the divorce papers and the marriage registration documents?
Since I haven't actually seen any of your private exchanges, or indeed the documents themselves, I can only comment based on what Geoff himself told me during our video call this morning. But regarding your divorce, he said that you did nothing but beg, plead, whine, and wail while clinging to him desperately for a second chance. As for the divorce papers, supposedly to divorce me, and the marriage registration papers, supposedly to remarry you, his guess is that you made a misunderstanding while you were out stalking him because you saw him near the county clerk's office when he was grocery shopping at the supermarket next door. As for the marriage registration papers you left in his mailbox, he shredded them immediately.
What? He put our marriage papers in the shredder.
Finally, Geoff's company recently placed him on a transfer to a certain country in Europe, which means he'll be moving there with his wife for the foreseeable future. But you, being completely deranged and in need of professional mental help, in a mental gymnastics performance worthy of the gold, interpreted him going to Europe as the two of you going on a honeymoon to Hawaii. He did tell you he was going to Europe, but you were so gleefully obsessed with the idea of your honeymoon that you kept insisting he cancel his flight and rebook for Hawaii. Eventually, he came to the realization that no matter what he told you, you'd interpret it through your own lens of fantasy and delusion. Correcting you rapidly came to feel boring and tedious. Your behavior was creeping him out so much that he sent his wife out a week earlier than planned, and he soon followed her after tying up a few loose ends here in Colorado. Ugh, that was a long one. Yep, that about wraps it up.
Wait, what's going on? Caitlin, please, what's happening here? Wait, no! Does this mean me and Geoff didn't really get remarried? And my precious, darling Geoff isn't even in America anymore? He left me?
Yes, that's exactly what it means. I gotta say, Miley, I'm impressed you actually seem to understand this time. Anyway, are we done here?
What?
I was only ever Geoff's friend from college whose name, unfortunately, happened to overlap with the fake one he used to try and trick you. So I should never have been dragged into this whole mess to the absurd degree I was to begin with. And we sure as hell don't have anything else to discuss now. Oh, and before you ask, Geoff didn't tell me his new address in Europe. So even if you asked me for it, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh my god. No! This is bad. This is bad, this is bad, this is bad! You have to help me, Caitlin. I'm in debt. I have to make the next repayment by the end of this month or I'll be in serious trouble. You don't know who I'm dealing with, Caitlin. I swear, they're dangerous. They already threatened to hurt me. I'm so scared.
That's all very unfortunate. But you see, Miley, your screwed up life is not my problem.
What?
We're done here. Bye.
Oh my god. No!
It turned out Geoff was already aware of the debt Miley mentioned at the end there. Apparently, it came from the time a judge ordered that she pay damages after getting into a serious car accident while driving uninsured. Her savings didn't cover it, so she had no choice but to go into debt. Instead of actually working to pay it off herself, she decided to try and worm her way back into her ex-husband Geoff's good books, whom she discovered was now extremely wealthy after reading an article that featured him, called Up-and-Coming Hotshot CEOs in a magazine. As for what happened later on, Miley, who still hadn't given up on the idea of remarrying her old flame, showed up at his parents' place in a desperate bid to track him down after he left for Europe. She kicked down their front door and interrupted the residents' afternoon coffee when she barged her way into the living room and growled, "Give me Geoff's address. Help me win him back," in a deep, menacing tone while frothing at the mouth like a rabid dog. I say the residents because Geoff's parents had already moved out a long time ago. In a hilarious irony, Miley was ordered to pay damages yet again. And with that, her already absurdly high levels of debt inflated to levels previously unimaginable. My sources tell me she was last sighted being bundled into the truck of a black car by a bunch of heavily tattooed bald guys in leather jackets.